When we talk about India's freedom struggle, certain names immediately come to our minds: Gandhi, Nehru, Bhagat Singh, Subhash Chandra Bose, Sardar Patel. But let me ask you something. How many women freedom fighters can you name beyond Rani Lakshmibai, Sarojini Naidu, and Annie Besant? The story of India's independence is much bigger than the names we usually remember. Hello everyone, my name is Rajni Jha. Welcome to Drishti IAS. This Independence Day, let us remember 7 women whose courage deserves to be remembered in the story of India's freedom. Let's get started. The first woman is the one who understood very early that India's freedom struggle could not remain only an Indian issue. It has to be taken internationally. She was Bhikaji Kama. She was born into a wealthy Parsi family in Bombay. She eventually traveled to Europe, where she became associated with Indian nationalists such as Dada Bhai Nauroji and Shyamji Krishna Verma. But her most famous moment came in 1907 in Stuttgart, Germany. At an international socialist congress, she unfurled an early version of the Indian national flag and used the international platform to talk about India's colonial oppression. Now, think about a time when India was still under British rule. There was no independent state as such. At that time, she thought that this whole story, this idea, this colonial oppression, this has to be talked about at an international platform. And this was not just symbolic. In fact, she helped take Indian question from the streets of India to international political arena. That is why Bhikaji Kama, she represents internationalization of freedom struggle. Now let's travel much further back. When we talk about freedom fighting, when we talk about India's freedom struggle, and we talk about women involved in that, the first name that comes to our mind is Rani Lakshmibai from the Battle of 1857. But India's struggle for freedom goes much back. And especially when we talk about the women involved in India's freedom struggle, there is another queen in the southern India who took up arms against East India Company. That is Rani Velu Nachiyar of Shivganga, Tamil Nadu. She was forced into exile after her husband was killed. But she did not give up. Her story did not end there. She spent years in patience, building alliances, including with Hyder Ali, and she raised an army. After that, in 1780, she defeated the East India Company and reclaimed her kingdom. This earned her recognition as one of the earliest Indian rulers to successfully resist British rule. Now, this is an important lesson. There is an important lesson here that the resistance to colonialism did not suddenly start in 1857 with the Battle of 1857. There were regional, local, and early anti colonial struggles long before the revolt of 1857. So, when we study the freedom struggle, we should not see 1857 as the beginning of freedom struggle. And that's what this story tells us. It is a part of a much longer history. Velu Nachiyar represents the early armed resistance to colonial expression. The next woman we have is a 73-year-old who walked towards the bullets. But before that, let's talk about the Freedom Sale. Right now, we have up to 50% off going on from 11th to 16th August on all live online courses. If you take our ISGS Foundation course, in that you will get flat 50% off up till 16th of August only. And here, if you pay just 2 rupees extra, you'll also get ISGS Prelims PYQ and Mains PYQ answer writing course, which are normally worth 14,499 for free. So if you wish to join us, do call on this number. This up to 50% sale is also available on our mains courses. The number is 87501 87501. All right. So as I told you, next is the story of Bengal, which is about a 73-year-old who walked towards the bullets. This is perhaps one of the most powerful stories of courage. It is about Matangini Hazra. She was affectionately called by people as the Old Lady Gandhi. She participated in the nationalist movement and was arrested during civil disobedience movement. But her most remarkable moment came during the Quit India movement in 1942, where on 29th September 1942, she led a procession towards the Tamluk police station. Now, of course, police started shooting. But what would normally people do when police start shooting? They would run away. But she, at the age of 73, in her 70s, she did not run away. She ran towards the police. She had national flag in her hand. She was shouting Vande Mataram. And she continued advancing with that national flag in her hands and Vande Mataram shouting towards the police. She was, of course, eventually killed by the British Indian police while still holding the flag. Now, as I told you, imagine this scenario, a woman in her 70s and she is running towards the police who's shooting at her. So, this is one of the most prominent examples of courage. This is what courage looks like. She did not run away, she walked towards them. She walked forward. And this story of Matangini Hazra represents the extraordinary participation of ordinary people in the Quit India movement. The next that we have is a child. Now look at this contrast. Now, just now we talked about an old person, a woman in her 70s, and on the other end of the spectrum is a child. Tileshwari Barua. She was from Assam and was only around 12 years old when the Quit India movement began. She had grown up listening to the patriotic songs and stories, and she wanted to contribute to the freedom struggle. So on 20th September 1942, a procession moved towards Dhekiajuli police station in Assam to hoist this national flag. And she joined them. Again, the same thing, police shot fires, and in that, she was killed. These protesters were confronted by the police, and she was also killed in this. But that did not stop her. This story, again, think about the contrast that Matangini Hazra was in her 70s and Tileshwari Barua was a child. Both of them from different generations, same dreams, same national flag, same willingness to sacrifice just for freedom struggle. Right? Next is Bhogeshwari Phuknani. She was a mother of 8 children and a freedom fighter from Assam who participated in the Quit India movement. In 1942, when British forces tried to suppress protest in Berhampur, she confronted a British officer. Why did she confront him? Because the officer disrespected the national flag. So what she did, she hit him, she struck him with the pole of the national flag because that officer disrespected the national flag. Of course, she was also shot. So she was shot and she died from her injuries on 20th September 1942. Now, if you can look at the common thing, a recurring image here is the flag, right? We saw that Bikaji Kama carried it onto the international stage. Matangini Hazra carried it towards police. Similarly, Tileshwari Barua, she tried to raise it in Assam, hoist it in Assam. And Bhogeshwari Phuknani here, she defended it with her life. So flag is not merely a piece of cloth. We cannot say just a piece of cloth. In fact, it was a representation of dream of free India. It represented the idea of a free India. The next story that we have is from Bihar. This story is of Tara Rani Srivastava. During Quit India movement, Tara Rani and her husband, they marched to Siwan police station to hoist the national flag. Her husband was shot. Normally, what would you do if your partner is shot? You will stop. She also stopped, but she did not stop to abandon the movement. She stopped so that she can tear up some strips from her sari and bandage the wounds of her husband, and then she continued to march. She continued the march to hoist the flag. When she returned, her husband had already died. What do you understand from the story? That when we talk about the story of freedom struggle, it was not free from personal tragedies. It was full of personal tragedies. People lost their families, people lost their partners, people lost their children. But that did not stop them. They continued. And Tara Rani represents resilience, the ability to carry personal grief and still continue the larger struggle. And finally, we move from the streets of India to Southeast Asia, to a woman who did something radically different. She became a soldier. Captain Lakshmi Sehgal. She was a doctor in Singapore who joined the Indian National Army under Subhash Chandra Bose. In 1943, Subhash Chandra Bose took charge of INA and he decided to create a women's regiment. And that regiment was named after another legendary woman fighter, Rani Lakshmibai. So that regiment was the Rani of Jhansi regiment. And what he did was he made her the lead of that regiment. She was supposed to lead that regiment. She was appointed to lead it. This regiment was formed in 1943 and it was an all-women military unit formed from Indian women volunteers in Southeast Asia. But her role there was not just symbolic. She was a doctor, organizer, recruiter, commander, and minister for women's affairs in Azad Hind government. Because the vision of Netaji's vision of freedom struggle was not simply that women should support men. No, he did not believe that women should simply support men. In fact, he believed that women can themselves become soldiers like her in the struggle. And this Rani of Jhansi regiment represented a radical idea of women's participation in the freedom movement. So we saw 7 different examples, which we normally don't find in our textbooks. And what does that tell you? That tells you that in the freedom struggle, there were many who participated. There were many who were ready to sacrifice everything despite any form of personal tragedy. Some became famous, many did not. We don't find their names in our textbooks. But just because they did not become famous, we don't find their names in our textbooks does not mean that their contribution was any less. So this Independence Day, when we look at the tricolor, let's remember that apart from the leaders who became famous, there were so many Indians who came together and fought, who were ready to sacrifice everything for the freedom struggle. That's it for today's session. Thank you so much for joining in. I'll see you again in the next class. Until then, take care.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.